My name is Chrissy Batiglia, and I started coming to Brain Life Center because I was experiencing a higher level of anxiety than normal, so much so that it was just affecting my life on a daily basis too much, and it wasn't something that I wanted my daughter watching as an example. So it was time to make a change. As a kid, I experienced a lot of anxiety, and I don't even know why or where this came from. It seemed normal to me. It was just a part of who I was and how I was, and some of that manifested in just vomiting here and there. If I felt overly anxious, that's just how I learned to deal with it, then I'd feel better. As I got older, I didn't do that anymore, but I still dealt with the anxiety. I just kind of learned how to manage it in a different way. It used to be like, oh, if I'm stressed, I'd go for a hike or go for a run or paint or whatever it is. And I would try to do those things, but they just wasn't working anymore. And that's where I sort of started to freak out, because I'm like, I don't know how to take care of myself anymore. What's going on? It just doesn't make any sense. You finally just get to the point where you think, is this really the way that I'm meant to live my life? Am I supposed to walk like this for the rest of my life? And it got harder to cover because I feel like the anxiety was getting stronger somehow. I don't know exactly why, but that's what it felt like, to where I felt like I can't manage it, I can't mask it as well anymore. I don't want my daughter seeing this in her mother and watching this example. So it moved me to want to make a change. And I'd had some family members who had gone through the treatment, and it had really helped them a lot. Yeah, my husband has definitely noticed that I'm not as stressed as uptight as I was. There's just a kind of a general calm now. And I feel like for me, the negative mental habits I'd been in, like they honestly can still threaten sometimes, but they don't have the power they did before. And most times I'm not even thinking about them because they're just not there like they used to be. I used to wake up feeling just overwhelmed by the day, and my life is pretty predictable and routine. There's nothing to feel overwhelmed about. And sometimes just the tedium of being with a 2-year-old all day and reading the same book 10 times could wear you down. And now it's kind of like where that would make me feel like kind of anxious and depressed before, just getting kind of worn out with that. Now it's kind of just, I see the humor in it and the joy in it, and just I find myself thinking more, I can handle this. Yeah, this is fine. There's nothing wrong here. And it's just a relief to be in that frame of mind. And there's just other places where I've just found like I have access to creativity and focus, and things that I knew were in there because that used to be me. But for some reason they'd kind of disappeared for a while, and those have come back. And I feel like the negative part is a much, much smaller piece than it used to be. In fact, I don't really think about it that much anymore. I feel like I have access to my full capacity. That kind of allows me to walk in a courage that maybe I wouldn't have walked in before. I think a lot of times when we're anxious, we can tend to feel like something's wrong, or if you are a Christian and you have faith in God, you think your faith must be inadequate, but I don't really think it has anything to do with that. It's just we're humans and we're frail, and things can get out of whack, and it's as simple as that and as complicated as that. But sometimes you can still have a strong faith but feel horrible and feel anxious. I think it's just a signal that you need to take a step of faith.